Hold up.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with round 9 of my F1 2016 career mode season 3 with Red Bull Racing. As you can see in the competitive update, Williams have made 2 upgrades to their car, putting them on par with Ferrari in the vehicle performance comparison chart. But if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. And 2 things I want to quickly touch upon. So the first thing is going to be a comment that was sent to me in my video from yesterday, which is from FitLife, and as you can see on your screens right now, it says, "You drive extremely aggressive. Thank the AI for giving you the room. Anyway, great vid." Now I wanted to just put this into comparison. Now I can see exactly where this person's coming from. Now, the overtake that I did on Kimi Räikkönen down the inside into the right-hander just starting the castle section, in fairness, was a little bit crazy, but overall, I didn't feel like I was aggressive anywhere else in the driving. If there was any other part of the race that you thought I was aggressive, FitLife especially, please let me know so I can review it and have a look at my racing for in future. But just let me know, guys, do you also feel that I'm driving too aggressively? Do you agree with FitLife? Just let me know in the comment section down below, because I want to make sure that people are happy with the way I'm actually driving. If you're not happy, then let me know. And the other thing to look about is corner cuts, because I do those quite a bit, even though it doesn't give me a warning for it. And second of all, I was thinking of doing a live stream for F1 2016 online on the Xbox One. And I was thinking of doing that about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow. I was going to see if I could try and find some time tomorrow evening to do that. So, would you guys be up for a live stream tomorrow on F1 2016 online? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear your opinions on that. So, they're the 2 things that I basically wanted to talk about. Was just let me know about that comment that I said. Let me know if you think that, if you also agree, because I definitely want to listen to everybody's feedback if you have it. And I do appreciate FitLife for sending in the comment and letting me know about what he feels that he wants changed for my career mode. And would you guys like to see a live stream tomorrow, perhaps, if I can get one sorted? Let me know, so I'll see if I can try and sort it out. But anyway, in the practice sessions, we managed to max out everything and get the maximum resource points, which is absolutely perfect. And as you can see here, we are on to qualifying 1 here on the ultra soft tyres, and we come across the line here to the fastest lap of Q1, which I believe was beaten by the regulars of Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo at the end of this stage. So I'll have to look here. Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo got the fastest in Q1 ahead of Lewis Hamilton, ahead of myself. So it's kind of been that way this entire season. Me, Ricciardo, and Hamilton really battling the front of the field. And Nico Rosberg not really in it this championship season. So we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, into Q2 we come now, and braking hard down into the final corner here on the shortest track really on the calendar. You can see that we're coming across the line there, and we're going to set the fastest lap and go P1 for this session, and that's where we end up actually in Q2. We see that Valtteri Bottas and also I believe that is Fernando Alonso have got 5-place grid penalties for this Austrian Grand Prix. So they've obviously done something wrong, and they've been given grid penalties for it. But as you can see, now into Q3 we come down to the second to last corner, braking hard down into the final corner. We run a little bit wide on the exit of turn 9 there, DRS wide open, and we're actually going to come across the line here and qualify. We do actually set the fastest lap initially, but it isn't enough to actually get pole position. I do believe that Ricciardo beats us to the line. He does, so it's going to be an all Red Bull front row, followed by Mercedes, followed by Ferrari, followed by Williams, followed by Force India, I think that said. So literally in a 2x2 basis there, and as you can see, we're stacking up the resource points. In the driver rivalry, I don't think we can't catch up to Lewis Hamilton really anymore. He's going to go and win that rivalry, but in the driver position, all is well. And then listening to the session objectives from Emma, she's going to tell us exactly what we need to do in this race to impress the Red Bull team. But that's it for practice and also for qualifying, guys, for this Austrian Grand Prix. So let's get into the race for this Austrian Grand Prix.
What a beautiful backdrop to a motor race. We're here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and they've watched over some cracking races throughout the history of this Grand Prix. Controversy, of course, think back to 2002, but also great joy. Do you remember Niki Lauda's historic home victory in 1984? The Red Bull Ring then, 700 metres above sea level. This tough circuit may only have 9 corners, but they're fast and they're bumpy. It's a true test for any racing driver. We have 2 DRS zones, and watch out for overtakes into turn 2 as the uphill entry helps those trying to be the last of the late breakers steam up the inside. Anthony Davidson joins me to talk you through the action here today at what is quite an unusual racetrack, wouldn't you say, Ant?
Yeah, it's quite an odd layout around here. The thing about Austria is that it's a harder circuit to master than what really meets the eye. On top of that, it's a low grip surface, and that means that your small mistakes end up being punished, and it's very easy to slide wide into the runoff area and lose a huge chunk of time. Luckily, because it's such a short circuit though, you have plenty of opportunities to perfect the lap.
The team's really happy with how you're driving so far this season. Let's get another good result and show them you want that #1 driver status.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and a Red Bull alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, and Raikkonen, Massa, Perez, Hulkenberg, and Daniel Kvyat. Haryanto, Bottas, Carlos Sainz, and Grosjean, Magnussen, Alonso, Jenson Button, and Pascal Wehrlein. Gutierrez and Palmer, Marcus Ericsson, and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, so as you can see, we're on the grid here for the Austrian Grand Prix, and for the first time this season, we're actually going to be starting the race on a wet weather compound of tyres. We have not yet experienced a wet race in this season, and this is the first time that we're going to be experiencing a wet race here. So we're going to be starting off on the intermediate tyres. However, it is expected to dry out, and we could be looking to go to the dry tyres halfway through the race, and then taking a set of probably the super soft tyres to the end of the race. But as you can see, we're on the grid. We've got 4, now 5 red lights, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go for this Austrian Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo getting a very nice start. In fact, I've got a pretty rubbish start in all honesty. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton alongside me here, going to break nice and late down into turn 1, try not to make contact with Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, and we get past him nice and come through there, and that is us into second place, or maintaining second place of the race. Lewis Hamilton dropping a little bit further back there down the order, and Daniel Ricciardo now looking to try and get away from myself, but I'm going to look to try and hunt down Daniel Ricciardo and take the lead as I outbrake myself wildly going into turn 2 there into the hairpin, and now I'm going to try and get onto that, get on the power really, and just see if we can hunt down Daniel Ricciardo. We've got some yellow flags behind us, so something's gone on, a bit of contact, but it didn't actually cause any safety cars or VSCs, so we'll not need to worry about it. Down into turn 3, you can see Ricciardo going very, very early on the brakes here. I'm going to try a switchback move. It's a bit brave of myself to do this. I'm not too close. I then move over to the inside line, but I lose the back end of the car here, go onto the grass, and my attempted switchback moves on Daniel Ricciardo has failed. It was a nice idea, but I was just too much on the wet line there, and unfortunately I just didn't have the grip that I wanted to make that move on Ricciardo's stick, as the track conditions are very, very slippery in these early phases, and we now need to get our heads focused and get back up to Daniel Ricciardo and try and find another opportunity to get back past him and take the lead of this Austrian Grand Prix. But coming across the start-finish line here, Daniel Ricciardo is going to lead the way as he has done from pole position, followed by myself in second place with Lewis Hamilton in third, and I believe a Ferrari is in fourth at the moment here. So a good start for Red Bull at their home race, of course, at the Red Bull Ring. As you can see from the start, I actually got a very poor start, like I said. Nico Rosberg tried to have a look past me, but there was just no space for him. And then I make a late braking move down the inside to defend my position from Lewis Hamilton, who actually goes very, very slow on the exit of turn 1. And that causes a bit of a kerfuffle behind. And that actually costs Nico Rosberg fourth place, I believe, with the Ferrari getting past. In fact, there's a massive queue of cars there, all just battling for position there, going into turn 2. I believe Vettel's going to go around the inside, even the Ferraris, and okay, that's a lot of contact and chaos there through turn 2. So obviously you can see, actually, Rosberg did maintain 4th place, so fair play to Rosberg, managing to maintain 4th place from some dive-bombing Ferraris. Now this is where we actually got an attempt to attack Daniel Ricciardo. We had a lot better grip than Ricciardo in this opening phase, and I tried to get a move done. I wasn't seeing the move gone, and this is why I lost the back end of the car, and I had to go onto the grass there and run very wide into turn 4 here, and that's where, unfortunately, Ricciardo manages to stay in front of us as we now through to turn 5 and 6 here, as Daniel Ricciardo leads the way. Hamilton in second, Hamilton in third, I'm in second, and coming now down towards the last 2 corners, you can see that Ricciardo is in front of us, and as he has been. So pretty chaotic start, really, with the battle into turn 1. We also had the battle into turn 2 with the other drivers behind, and also my near crash, really, as I tried to hunt down Daniel Ricciardo. That's it for the first lap of this Austrian Grand Prix, so not a lot of action. Well, there's quite a bit of action. But we go back to lap 2, so we're back live with where we just were, and this time we've got a lot closer out of this hairpin once again to Daniel Ricciardo, and we nearly get on the grass there as we're just trying to find some grip, as you can see here, but we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo here, down the inside into turn 3. Ricciardo leaves that inside line door wide open, and we're going to take that one with ease, but it's not over yet. You can see I go very wide, lose the back end, literally sliding all over the circuit here. I've got no grip on the intermediate tyres in this middle sector, and that was nearly a fatal spin. Luckily, I managed to build a small gap to Ricciardo that he didn't get back past us, so very, very chaotic here at the start on these intermediate conditions. I definitely don't like them. Once again on lap 7, I'm still struggling, but you can see that the track is starting to dry out, which means that we are going to be changing to the drier tyres very, very soon, but it's not quite there yet. We're literally coming towards the crossover point of switching to the dry tyres, but Ricciardo and Hamilton are still right there behind me, and they are looking to try and find a way past at some point. And of course, I want to stay in front of Ricciardo because I want to get first call onto the dry tyres. Coming out of the final corner, I actually run very wide, go off the circuit here on the exit, and that's going to give Daniel Ricciardo some brilliant exit speed and some traction here, and he takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, but I'm still going to fight this one back. I'm going to go round the outside into turn 1. Can I make this move stick round the outside? Unfortunately, I can't. I go off the circuit. I lift off the throttle there because I went wide, and if I made that overtake on Daniel, it would have been all 4 wheels off the track, so I lifted off to give Daniel the space, but unfortunately, in allowing Daniel to go back in front, I've let Lewis Hamilton through, who's going to go late braking down the inside of Ricciardo here. Can he make it stick? Very close. I nearly touch with both of the Red Bull and the Mercedes drivers, but it's just not enough, and as you can see now, we're going to have to step back and wait a little bit, but we're going to be putting this car into rich fuel, make sure to get into the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton. We're actually going to pull out on Lewis Hamilton here, and we're going to go down the inside of Lewis Hamilton, but we've outbraked ourselves, but somehow we've actually got down the inside of Ricciardo as well. Ricciardo literally saw us coming and just literally crapped himself at that point, and I got in front of Ricciardo as well. I was not intending on getting past Daniel Ricciardo. I must say that. I was going for an inside line run on Lewis Hamilton, but Ricciardo left the space open after I outbraked myself, and because I saw the move was there, I just carried on with the mover, but as you can see, crucially, it's time to go onto the dry tyres, and luckily for myself, of course, with me coming in as the, with me being the lead Red Bull driver, I'm able to get the jump in this pit stop, so Daniel Ricciardo is going to have to go round for another lap on intermediate tyres when really it's time for the dry tyres, whereas I now get the preference, or I get a driver choice of coming in for those dry tyres, and I'm definitely going to be coming in for the tyres. So as you can see here, coming out of the pits, Lewis Hamilton also pitting for them, so Daniel's going to lose out quite badly here, as he's going to have to do another whole lap on a set of worn intermediate tyres on a dry circuit, basically, so not good for Daniel Ricciardo, unfortunately, in his bid to try and win this Austrian Grand Prix. But as you can see, we're going to be coming out with Lewis Hamilton right behind us. And from where I'm sitting, all is well. Moving on to lap 11 of the Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton has been closing the gap between myself and each other, basically. And you can see from this helicopter cam how quickly Lewis Hamilton is. And just look at the speed, right? Hamilton gets off this corner. Look how much speed. That is literally straight line speed hacks right there. Into the inside, into the second to last corner. I give Hamilton the space, but I managed to hold it off down the outside here. And down into the final corner we come here. Lewis Hamilton actually got a better run into the final corner, and he's got the DRS here. I'm going to defend the inside line. Lewis Hamilton's going to go around the outside here into turn 1, and he's actually going to make the move stick, but I'm going to late break it down the inside, and I'm going to give Hamilton a little shove off the circuit there because, of course, he whacked me off in Spain. So I told you I'd get my revenge on Hamilton, but I still haven't felt like that was pure revenge yet. But I shoved him wide into turn 1 so he couldn't get that job done. Making the run down into turn 2. Hamilton thinks of a move fast, but he's not going to get that job done very quickly as he would have thought. So we managed to stay in front. However, Hamilton's got DRS now, making this run down towards turn 3, so it's going to make it very hard for myself to defend here against Lewis Hamilton. I'm going to give him the inside line actually into turn 3. I didn't think he'd actually make the run here. Down into turn 3 we go. Hamilton and I coming through, and contact there. Hamilton has gone spinning out, and Lewis Hamilton has spun out, and that is, I think that could be his race over with there. We'll have to get a replay, obviously, of what just happened. 2 championship rivals colliding here in Austria, and that's definitely going to cause a safety car, no doubt about it, with Hamilton stricken on the racing circuit. But let's get a replay of that, because you're probably thinking, Foxy, you're a twat. But let's get a replay of this. So Lewis Hamilton here is going to the inside line into turn 3. Braking nice and late. I've given Hamilton a car's width there. He's touched my side pod, and he's gone round. I'm sorry, but the contact radius is rubbish. Now watch this in slow motion. So as you can see, we just slow it down here. Lewis Hamilton's got the inside line. I've given him the space. He touches with my side pod, touches his front wheel. That will not spin a Formula 1 car round in real life. I'm sorry, that will not spin a Formula 1 car round. I'm sorry, it just won't. So from where I'm standing, I'm going to call innocence here, because I gave him the inside lines, he had space, and unfortunately the contact system in this game is broken, because you should not be spinning from that. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be. He's literally touched my side pod, and we're alongside each other, so it's not like he's come on in at a direct angle straight in front of me to kamikaze into me. We're side by side, so really, contact basically, it's a racing incident at the end of the day, and look, the contact system was broken at that sense, so unfortunately for Lewis Hamilton, he's dropped back down the order. In fact, actually, after the safety car restart, you can see that he's only dropped behind the Ferrari there. So I thought he was out of the race, but he's actually still in this Grand Prix. So we carry on now with the safety car restart. The safety car was out for about 2-3 laps here in this Grand Prix. Down into turn 1 we go here. Ricciardo trying to battle Kimi Raikkonen here. In fact, Raikkonen gives Ricciardo a big old shove, and that, I believe, is going to allow Nico Rosberg to get in front of... Actually, no, Rosberg is behind them, so it's not going to happen. Breaking down into turn 2 we go here. Down the inside we go into the hairpin. Nice and comfortable there. And hang on a minute, we've got some contact. More chaos here in this action-packed Grand Prix. We've got contact behind. Sergio Perez is up to 2nd in this Grand Prix. Vettel is up to 3rd. Something's gone wrong. Massa's now up into 3rd. What the hell happened into turn 2? Well, okay, well, let's just get a look at this. Now, basically, as you can see here, this was on the restart. Kevin Magnussen had an engine failure, but I decided to show it when I was going to do all these replays. So there was Magnussen having a failure. But let's have a look at the contact into turn 2. So Raikkonen's making a run into turn 2 we go. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to come down the inside, which is very clean. And all of a sudden, literally contact is made. And now Raikkonen and Rosberg are literally just hugging there, having a nice little kiss. It's like, let's go on a date down in the Austrian mountains, guys. Unfortunately, it just sent them into oblivion. So let's have a look from Ricciardo's POV here. Down the inside he comes here, and all of a sudden he's got flying Mercedes coming out of nowhere, just coming in and whacking into all of them here. And now it's literally just a three-way. They're just like, let's just go and let's just have a three-way, guys. Let's just do it. Why not? So Ricciardo, Rosberg, and Raikkonen all having a three-way there. As you can see, let's have a look at it from Rosberg POV now. Of course, remember Rosberg caused some controversy in Austria. Let's see, does Rosberg decide to turn into the corner like he should do? Nope, he's locked at the brakes and gone careering into my teammate Ricciardo. And of course, with Ricciardo going inside of Raikkonen, Raikkonen also got caught up, and then they all just got stuck together and just had a three-way, and you can see them spazzing out on the wheels. But here's another look at it from this, from the replay cameras here, a different perspective of this. So you can see Ricciardo coming through, and then Rosberg locks up his brakes and goes smashing into all of them here. And then all of a sudden, they're just going to have a nice little kiss here with Felipe Massa just getting involved in this. And there they go, crashing down. And that's them all literally ruining all of their races. Moving on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, nothing went wrong for us, of course, after that safety car restart. A pretty action-packed Grand Prix and a lot of controversy, which I'm sure you guys will be talking about in the comment section down below. But from where I'm sitting, we have gone through and we've taken the win here in Austria. A very good result indeed. We definitely needed this race win after the poor challenges that we had to face in Azerbaijan. We definitely need to get back on the front foot. And we've done just that here after, of course, Hamilton closed in on us with his win in Azerbaijan. He actually got the win, of course, remember, in Baku, and I got 4th place. So luckily for me, I've managed to come back home here with the win here in Austria. So very good job. Overall then, on the intermediate conditions, I struggled a lot but was able to maintain the gap. And then especially when it turned into the dry, well, actually when it was into the dry conditions, I was a lot slower. But look at that, Sergio Perez has taken 2nd place in this race. So what a result for Force India that Sergio Perez claims P2 in this race. A great result. I'm going to go home and take this trophy and show it to my parents. Be like, yo, I just got this trophy from Austria. But that's going to be it, guys. If you did enjoy this action-packed and controversial Grand Prix, drop a like, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel already. And as you can see here, I'm celebrating Sebastian Vettel gets 3rd place overall. So a good podium result for Ferrari. Definitely well needed after they've fallen down the charts here. But Perez got 2nd, Vettel got 3rd. Hamilton recovered to finish 4th with Massa, Ricciardo, Rosberg, and I don't believe Raikkonen scored any points. I'm not quite sure. But there's the full classification for you guys, with both McLaren scoring points as well. In the drivers' standings, we managed to increase our lead even further over Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, so definitely taking full control of this championship as we come into the next 3 rounds, which is Britain, Germany, and Hungary, which are probably some of the weaker circuits. I'm just not as quick as the AI, I would have thought. The AIs are a lot faster than me at these 3 circuits coming up, so we're definitely going to need to take these points that we've got on board for these next few rounds. Resource points, we have now got enough to take on that engine upgrade that we wanted, but unfortunately we did lose the rivalry to Lewis Hamilton. But overall, we're now back into the purple, and the team is going to give us an update saying, you know, you're doing a fantastic job. And then what we're going to be doing is making an engine upgrade, and that's going to seal it off for today's video. So as you can see here, I'm just listening to Emma. You know, she's really happy. She loves me right now. She loves me. That was weird, I'm sorry. And as you can see now, we're going to go onto the laptop and make the engine upgrade. So guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Next race will be the British Grand Prix. Until then guys, take care. Peace.